Chosen one, listen carefully. You did not arrive at this message by accident. There's an invisible thread weaving your story into moments like this, a silent calling that brought you here right now. Perhaps you have felt it in recent days. A strange exhaustion in crowded places, a pressure in your chest when conversation turns into noise, a sudden clarity that appears from nowhere and cuts through confusion like a blade of light. You try to stay among many. You try to belong. You try to remain. But something inside you withdraws, protects itself, shelters itself, and the truth is, this is not social failure, chronic shyness, or coldness of heart. This is purpose. This is protection. This is how the Most High guards you for what only you can fulfill. Since early on, you have noticed cracks where others saw smooth surfaces. You have perceived intentions hidden behind smiles, felt the weight of words left unspoken, and read the atmosphere of a room before any explanation. While most are guided by what their eyes can see, you have always carried a finer lens, an ear turned inward, a compass that does not point north in the world, but to the center of your essence. That sensitivity, which so often made you doubt yourself, is not a flaw. It is the seal of your calling. The chosen one does not walk through the crowd seeking applause. They walk through it collecting signs. And when the signs become too heavy, when voices merge until they form a wall, the spirit withdraws so as not to lose its own frequency. You don't pull away because you are unfriendly. You pull away because you are the guardian of what you carry. There is an energetic dissonance between what you are and what the masses vibrate. Not out of superiority, but out of direction. Most people are tuned from the outside in. Fear packaged as prudence. Anxiety sold as urgency. Competition disguised as ambition. You, however, are being tuned from the inside out. It's as if life turned a dial inside your chest, and suddenly, what once went unnoticed now sounds alarms. Rooms too noisy drain your clarity. Empty conversations dull your thoughts. Confusing environments cloud your intuition. It is not a quirk. It is radar. And that radar exists to preserve the route. That's why, when you enter a room and feel a nameless weight, when you speak with someone and notice your breath stumble, when you return home exhausted without knowing why, something within you asks for silence. Silence not as absence, but as a temple. A place where edges of the day dissolve and your inner voice returns to its rightful volume. The solitude you seek is not an escape from the world. It is the workshop of the soul. It is there that the Most High recalibrates you. There that your vision regains focus. There that the truths that matter arrive pure, clear, and undeniable. Have you noticed how people pour their confidences onto you without warning? How they come seeking comfort, counsel, relief. That happens because your presence carries rest, but it also carries risk. Without spiritual boundaries, you begin to carry what isn't yours. And by holding too much, you may grow ill from the excesses of others. The chosen one feels more, absorbs more, processes more. And precisely because you feel so deeply, you must care more carefully. What to others is just a meeting can be, for you, a plunge into an ocean of emotional residue. Do not blame yourself for needing to leave early, for desiring less, for preferring the small over the grand. You were not born for the marathon of faces. You were born for the path of presence. The Most High has a habit. He hides his messengers before revealing them. Almost always there is a season of wilderness, of caves, of mountains, not to reduce you, but to prepare you, not to humiliate you, but to strengthen you. Separation before elevation, silence before mission, refinement before execution. While the world demands constant presence, God trains you in deep reserves. While the crowd calls for distraction, the Spirit calls for precision. While agendas pile up, yours is refined until only the essential remains. Every door that closed when you thought you needed it, closed so you would not lose yourself. Every friendship that dissolved without explanation was, in truth, disguised liberation. Every opportunity that did not hold was a trap with shine. When the Most High says no, it is to preserve the seed. There is also the mistake of confusing kindness with infinite availability. You are compassion, but not a deposit. You are a channel, but not a reservoir without borders. You are healing, but not a permanent bed for others' wounds. The love that comes from above does not ask you to dissolve. It asks you to have structure so you can endure. And structure is born in retreat. Structure is born when you learn to say, "Not now. That's not mine. I'll pray for you, but that burden stays with you." That language of spiritual maturity is not rejection. It is filtering. And filtering is not a wall. It is care. Do you know why crowds tire you? Because crowds blur contours. Your identity needs clear outlines. Delicate missions demand sharp cuts, attentive eyes, conscious steps. It is impossible to read a map amid shoving. The crowd pushes, purpose guides. Every hour you spend trying to sustain environments that contradict you is an hour less in your subtle craft. The one no one sees, but that shifts entire atmospheres. While others accumulate stages, you accumulate precision. While others collect impressions, you cultivate instructions. While others seek echo, you seek access. Perhaps you carry an ancient question. Why me? Because you perceive what is not announced, because you hear what is not pronounced, because you endure what is not shared. The chosen one bears the tension between the visible and the invisible without losing the language of heaven. You understand that every pain has a message, every pause has a design, every delay carries protection. And above all, not every invitation is destiny. Some invitations are merely tests of dispersion. The test is not whether you can be there. The test is whether you can remain yourself while the world calls your name in chorus. Do not be deceived. There will be moments when you will be sent to the multitudes. But it will be for mission, not for need. For obedience, not for vanity. When that day comes, you will not go to drink from their well. You will go to bring water from your own. And once you have poured what you were meant to, you will return to your resting place, because it is there that your source is renewed. The calling is not the constant market of noise. It is the rhythm of breath. Inhale in secret, exhale in service. Those who live only exhaling dry up. Those who live only inhaling swell. The path of the chosen is the obedient alternation. Have you seen how certain simple conversations leave you heavy for hours? How some perfume places hide spiritual dust? How normal situations for others stir an alert in you that no one else hears? Do not ignore these signs. They are your angel waving flags. When your peace contracts, your spirit says, "Withdraw." When your clarity dims, your spirit cries, "Silence." When your inner voice grows faint, your spirit asks, "Clean ground." Faithfulness to these small calls will protect your health, your creativity, your vision. Will protect your health, your creativity, your vision. You don't need to prove anything anywhere. You don't need to explain yourself to those who measure presence in hours and not in depth. You don't need to justify your disappearance to those who mistake proximity for availability. Whoever is called to guard the fire cannot leave it out in the weather. The wind of crowds extinguishes neglected embers. The flame in your chest is not decoration. It is a lighthouse. And every lighthouse has two rules: remain lit and remain where it was planted. Your position is not insignificance, it is navigation strategy. Perhaps you remember the nights when you asked for company and received silence, the days when you reached out and touched air, those mornings when you woke with an emptiness that felt unfair. Today I tell you, in every silence, there is a forge. In every absence, a lesson. In every emptiness, a space for new oil. Heaven did not spare you from pain, but it spared you from ruin. It did not spare you from tears, but it spared you from blindness. It did not spare you from loss, but it spared you from trading destiny for distraction. You were trained to recognize doors from within. When the handle on the outside disappears, it's because the lock has already answered your spirit. That is how the Most High delivers you quietly. And when the hour of revelation arrives, you will not be able to hide. What is planted in secret blooms when the climate matches. And the climate of your revealing is not the rush of the moment, it is the time of maturity. Those who see you today and do not understand will see you tomorrow and call it luck. But you will know it was the desert, it was the cave, it was the mountain, it was the room. Caring for yourself is not selfishness, it is stewardship. You are the steward of a gift, a message, an atmosphere. You do not hand a rare violin to just any room, nor do you tune a symphony amid hammer blows. There are places that ask for your sound. There are others that ask for your silence. Learning the difference is wisdom, and wisdom, for the chosen, is worth more than speed. The world runs, you walk. The world collects noise, you collect direction. The world stays busy, you stay with what belongs to you. Yes, there will be people your light disturbs. Not because you offend them, but because your presence reveals dust they do not wish to see. You are not here to accuse. You are here to light lamps. Some will distance themselves. Others will read your peace as indifference. That is all right. The love that comes from God is not a soft hug without edges. It is an invitation to truth. And truth sometimes hurts before it heals. You love when you remain whole because your wholeness gives others reference. Without reference, no one finds the way. Soon you will realize that your social inadequacy was actually alignment with a higher design. You were not made to fit where everything fits. You were made to be the frame of something specific. Whoever has the right frame has the right boundaries. And boundaries are not prisons, they are form. The form of your purpose requires solid borders. That is why your schedule is lean. Your encounters are selective. Your inner life is strong. There is no great work without a great inner world. No great light without great oil. No great voice without great silence. If you have ever wondered whether depth can coexist with crowds, I tell you sometimes yes, when the crowd becomes mission. But on most days, depth demands retreat. There's no harm in being a celebration at the right time. The harm is becoming a celebration all the time. The finest wine is served when the hour arrives. Until then, it is water waiting in stone jars. Do not despise the jars. They hold the miracle before the miracle. You are not late. You are aligned. You are not isolated. You are reserved. You are not forgotten. You are hidden in the palm of the hand that formed you. When the date of your sending comes, your steps will find prepared ground, and your weariness will give way to the lightness that only those standing in the right place can emit. Favor opens doors that strength cannot touch. Grace places you where persistence never could. And then, yes, you will walk among many, not to lose yourself in them, but to serve without dissolving. Until then, honor your room, honor your table, honor your notebook, honor your body, honor your no, honor your not yet, honor your I must return within. Those who guard the inner altar keep the flame useful. And a useful flame warms, illuminates, and guides without burning out. You are that flame. Do not trade your oil for approval. Do not give your ember for company. Do not sacrifice your vision for noise. The right company will find you on the right path. The right noise is heaven's applause when you obey. And the right vision is what leads you back, always, to where it all began. The silence where the voice calls you by name. If these words touch something you already knew, then it is confirmation. If they opened a window you hadn't seen, then it is direction. I do not speak to your longing. I speak to your assignment. You are not the hunger of this age. You are the bread of presence for eternity. Walk slowly, breathe deeply, guard your heart, choose peace, select environments, remain teachable, and when the noise calls, respond with the same gentleness as always. Not today. Today I guard what has been entrusted to me. Chosen one, you are set apart to remain whole. You are set aside to stay centered. You are removed from the line to be placed on the path. And when life asks you to cross the square, cross it as one carrying a fire that must not fall. Gentle eyes, steady steps, alert spirit, the one who sent you walks beside you. The one who separated you sustains you. The one who called you will give you the words at the appointed time. Until then, may your silence be home, your presence be a lighthouse, and your solitude be a garden. For the world may move in crowds, but the kingdom always begins in secret. And from that secret place, you return whole, to light what was dark. If this resonated with your spirit, receive it as a seal. Nothing is wrong with you. Everything is being aligned within you. What others call too much sensitivity is your tuned instrument. What they call distance is your perimeter of preservation. What they call coldness is focus. What they call harshness is boundary. Continue, protect what you carry. And when you must choose between the applause of many and the peace of God, remember, peace is the sound of your true address. It is where you return, where you come from, and where you will go each time you are called again. And that call will come. Until then, remain whole. You were never made to be everywhere. You were made to be fully present where God wants you to be. And if these words awaken something within you, stay connected to the light. Leave a comment if this message spoke to your soul. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And make sure you're subscribed so you never miss the next revelation. You are not alone on this path.